Nintendo had their big meeting, and man oh man, the translations come out, and Furukawa is doing us very dirty. He talked about Switch 2, and this man, I think he's lying. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic. We also have word that Nintendo is doing something very odd and selling two first-party games in the same box. Don't think that one's happened before. I'll cover that in a second, but let me know in the comments down below your take on everything going down today, especially Furukawa's comments. I'm curious what you have to say about them. As I mentioned, Nintendo did unveil all of their sales figures, and as you'd expect, things are going peachy keen. What's interesting, though, is the top 10 Nintendo Switch games have not changed. We still have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at the tippy top, over 57 million now, and we've got Mario Bros. U Deluxe at the bottom of the top 10, now at 16.7 million. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is creeping closer to 20 million at 19.5 million, and remember, all of these numbers are only up to September 30th of this year. It's tracking the second quarter of the fiscal year that began in March, and Nintendo notes that this is the best Q1 and Q2 of their fiscal year since launch. And that's in huge thanks to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which helped push not only a ton of software, but also a bunch of hardware as well. That limited edition Zelda OLED bundle, plus just regular Nintendo Switches in general, really flourished this year thanks to Tears of the Kingdom and Nintendo's otherwise pretty darn healthy release calendar. Now, if you, my friends, are partaking in this Nintendo Palooza and being one of the people to help boost their sales figures, you're probably filling up your Switch and could use a memory card. That's why the Lexar Play card is the Switch memory card of choice. The SwitchForce seal of approval as the fastest, best, safest, big memory card you can grab, up to 1 terabyte in size. That's going to store just about everything under the sun. Make sure to click the link in the description down below. It's a great way to support the channel, and every time you click, it does just that, so thank you in advance. The Switch itself is up to 132.46 million units of hardware sold. 132.46 million Switches are out there in the world. That's up from 129 million last quarter, so only about 3 million more sold. But considering that we're in like the 7th year of Nintendo Switch, that is really incredible. And now software sales for Switch are 1.13 billion units. 1.13 billion units. A billion games have been sold for Switch, which is incredible, unprecedented. The DS sold 948 million units of software, under a billion, and the Switch is over a billion, which is freaking incredible. One of those games, 2.62 million of those billion, is Pikmin 4, which is now the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. I did hope that it'd be a little bit higher. I know that sounds like not that impressive of numbers, considering Tears of the Kingdom's at like 20 million, and the Pokemon games comfortably cleared 20 million, but 2.62 for Pikmin is still pretty darn good. Both Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Pikmin 4 have sold very well for the franchise, and Pikmin 4 will continue to sell. Remember, that game came out in July, so it's only getting July through September. I'm sure that by the end of the year and into next year, it will sell even more copies. But on top of the sales figures and numbers, Nintendo also seemingly has their first double pack of first-party games coming to retail. And you'll be surprised, this isn't like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. This is a brand new double pack of two very new and prominent popular tentpole Nintendo 2023 releases. It looks like multiple retailers in Japan are advertising a Super Mario Bros. Wonder plus Pikmin 4 double pack in the same box and in theory on the same cart? I don't know if they can both fit on the cart, or maybe it'll be 2 download codes, or maybe the smaller game on the cart and then the other download code. If it's both games on the cart, I want that double pack. It takes me back to the era of Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt on the NES double cart, and I love to have a Switch double cart. This also is going to include original stickers for both games. It's supposed to launch in Japan December 6th. We'll have to see if it comes international as well. Sometimes things like this could stay regional, although with Switch they've done a great job of bringing things pretty much worldwide across the board. I want this cart though. Mario Bros. Wonder is incredible. Pikmin 4 is the best in the franchise. Those two on one little tiny piece of plastic, that feels like a collector's item waiting to happen, and something I absolutely would love to have forever. And it's just like a great cart to give your kids or give a friend or anybody to be able to play those two games on one cart. The ideal, I guess, would be like Mario Bros. Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom, but this is pretty darn cool, and I hope that we see it over here in the United States. Now, friends, let's talk Furukawa. Of course, we were waiting, most importantly, for today, November 7th, and this big Nintendo update for comments on Switch 2. Would they announce anything? Would they reveal anything? Would they hint at anything? And instead, Nintendo is taking a totally different tactic. And I'm a full believer of not believing what Furukawa told us today. First off, he addresses the patent. Remember the multi-screen detachable screen patent that I told you probably is not coming true because the patent was made public, and when patents are made public from Nintendo, the thing doesn't usually exist. Furukawa says, we applied for a patent knowing the information would be made public. This does not necessarily mean we plan to equip future products with this. There you go. That's basically him saying, it ain't happening. And you could argue that maybe he's just teasing or pulling your leg, but we have a history with these patents. We also have then a history of lies from Nintendo execs about what's coming down the road. And so when Furukawa was asked about the Switch 2, and in particular, the Switch 2 rumors and leaks, that the Switch 2 was shown and discussed with developing partners at places like Gamescom earlier this year. Remember all the rumors over the summer where it was like, oh, in Europe and Germany at Gamescom, they were shown in the Matrix Awakens demo and Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS 4K. Furukawa had this to say: the rumors online that appear to be public information are not accurate. That is his official statement. Switch 2 rumors, not true. Now, you could take this and run with it and say, oh, all these silly Nintendo YouTubers with their dumb predictions, and there's no Switch 2. Furukawa just said it himself. But I ask you to look a little bit deeper and go behind the curtain. Nintendo is notorious for making sure that they protect current sales and make sure that they protect current brand momentum. AKA, they will lie and say nothing's coming even when something is directly coming. We have past evidence of this with the handheld platforms, and it makes sense that Nintendo would want to do such a thing as they really gear up for a massive holiday season full of bundles, releases, double packs, and more. Nintendo is indicating in every way possible that they are ready to move on. All of these bundles, all of these sales, all of these special offers, and of course, all of the rumors. Do you think every single rumor and leak we heard from VGC and Eurogamer and Nate Drake and Bloomberg and all of those are all wrong? Everything is inaccurate? Maybe some piece of them is inaccurate. Maybe some small part is inaccurate. If literally anything is inaccurate, Furukawa can just dismiss them all. Maybe there's some part of it or some part of the specs or some part of the tech that we don't have cemented just yet. But Furukawa here is leading a company into a very big holiday season where the Switch can profit humongously thanks to a long life cycle, thanks to declining cost, and thanks to insane software sales. Over 1.13 billion games sold, and they'd love to sell you more. And they'd love to sell you all of these bundles that they're using to clear stock off of store shelves. They're not making more bundles just to be kind to you. They're making more bundles for a reason, and that reason betrays what Furukawa says. He can state all he wants that they're not accurate, but he does not state there's no Switch 2 coming. He does not state we're not working on a new console at the time. He does not state that the Switch is going to be lasting for the foreseeable future or for a decade or beyond this year or beyond 2024, beyond this fiscal. He says nothing of the sort. He only says the rumors online that appear to be public information are not accurate. That is the translation we've received. And Furukawa honestly can say this till he's blue in the face. I will not believe him. And you should not either. I do think the rumors coming out of Gamescom are mostly accurate, and I definitely believe and know that Nintendo has already sent out, showcased, and shown their new hardware to development partners. It makes too much sense, and there's no time to waste. You can't just let the Switch run out fully and then decide to send out dev kits. You'd have nothing ready. There would be humongous gaps. There would be years where you don't have any product ready to go. Nintendo is no fool, and neither is Furukawa. He's a mastermind of the business scene. And while he may not be as personable as some of Nintendo's past leaders, he definitely knows what he's doing. And unfortunately, this is part of knowing what you're doing when it comes to propping up your current system for a big holiday season. So despite what you might see elsewhere, Do not take this as Nintendo does not have a Switch 2, there is no new console, and everything we've talked about for the last 3 to 6 months is BS. It's not the case. More than likely, Furukawa is BSing you because he wants to sell his Switch that he'd love to get over 140 million units, and he'd love to sell even more of that billion-plus software. He does not state that there's no Switch 2. He does not state that they're not working on anything. He does not state that there's not a new generation upon us. He just says the rumors online that appear to be public information are not accurate. Literally one piece of it's inaccurate, and he is telling the truth. He is not lying. He is speaking the word, and that is what he will go with until they're ready to announce. You will not hear any confirmation from Nintendo until announcement, and while we may have hoped for some sort of stealth, surprise, super cool announcement today, it's not happening, and it doesn't seem like it will be happening in the near future, although it could. Furukawa's comments do not prevent there from being an announcement. As we've seen in the past, Nintendo said no, and then merely a few weeks later, yes. That's how they work. That's how this goes. It's what you gotta be prepared for. Nintendo Switch 2 will launch in 2024. You can bet on it. I would put my bank account on the next Nintendo Switch console launching in 2024. I'm 100% confident. Whatever Furukawa wants to say, go for it. He did not deny it. He did not say no. In my book, that is a yes. But let me know your take, and let me know if you're interested in a double pack of Mario Wonder and Pikmin 4. If they're both in the same cart, we got to get it. That sounds like an amazing, awesome collector's item. Let me know your take in the comments down below on Furukawa's comments and the rest of Nintendo's sales figures. Superstar system, superstar sales. Cannot believe over 1 billion units of software. Until next time, though, I love you 1 billion. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce out.